in today's class, we are going to start the concept called as future engineering. The concept called as future engineering. Okay. What is meant by future engineering? Means understanding each and every future and rectifying the futures. Engineering means nothing but rectification. You are rectifying the futures. Okay. So future engineering consists of with respect to the data cleaning, and along with that, second one is data wrangling. These are the two things which is going to consist of wrangling. Okay, data cleaning and data wrangling. So you are going to rectify the data. You are doing the rectification. Future engineering means rectifying. And you can create the data. Means you can add one more column also. As per your requirements, you can create the columns, you can delete the columns, you can do whatever the things. Playing the game with the futures is called as future engineering. Okay. So now within that future engineering, the first one, the data cleaning. Within the data cleaning, first we are going to start with the how to deal the missing values. Within data cleaning. Within data cleaning, the concept is called as how to clean the data that is missing values. If in the given data missing values are there, how to treat them. In what way we have to treat them. That is with respect to the class. Now, for this class, if in order to understand this class, first in the real life, first we are going to load the data. After loading the data, we'll understand the data understanding will be done, followed by data set understanding will be done. After we are going to do the EDA. In the EDA, already we have checked the which futures are having the missing values, which futures are having outliers, which futures are skewed distribution, which futures are normally distributed, which futures are with respect to having the scaling, or with which one we have to apply. All these things we are doing in the EDA. In the EDA, we already check which are having outliers, which are having the missing values, which are skewed distribution, and which has to be text data. How many text data are there? This already we have checked. Checking is completed. We already checked. In the check, we are already having these many columns are having the missing values. Now we are going to rectify. Check is different, rectification is different. So in the checking, we already checked the data. Now we are going to rectify. That is data cleaning. Now we are going to start. So here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a data set. That is, first I'm going to import the NumPy and pandas. Next, I'm going to load the data set called as claimants data set, where here, this is a data set with respect to insurance company, related to insurance domain. From the insurance domain, this data set belongs to insurance domain, where we are having with respect to whether to claim an insurance. So for example, there in the US, there is a with respect to accident, car accident was done. And based on the car accident, we have to get an insurance companies. So what we are going to do is, generally if the car is having any kind of insurance, we'll go to the insurance company and we'll ask the insurance, and we'll claim the insurance. We'll claim that one directly. But in US, generally, they will go with their lawyers. So lawyers will discuss with the insurance companies and try to get the maximum benefit from that one. So they are going to hire the lawyers. So here, whatever the data set I'm having is, first one is called as case number. Whatever the case number I'm having, that is the case number. Next one is gender. CLM is whatever the claimants, means the person who is going to claim the insurance, that gender of that person. And the person is having whether the insurance or no, yes or no. Sir, if the person is not having, then what is the use of insurance, sir? What is the use of hiring the lawyer? Maybe, for example, the person who is driving the car has done the accident, and this person is having no insurance, and he wants to claim the insurance called as third party. So here, with respect to the person who is driving the car, whether he is having an insurance or not, seat belt, whether he is having a seat belt or not, and next one is age of the person, and what is the loss he is having, and attorney. Attorney means whether he has hired a lawyer or not, 0 or 1. This is the data set. So this, whatever I have explained you, each and every variable is called as data understanding. Now, data set understanding is here total we are having 10 records. I have taken once again only a sample data, part of the data. Why I have selected part of the data means clearly you can see the none, NaN words you can see, and I'm going to fill that one. To see that one clearly, I'm selecting only 10 records. So first 10 records I'm selecting. And here, if you open this info, total 10 records are there, out of which case number is not having any kind of missing values. Gender is not having any missing values, but insurance is having 8 non-null values. 8 non-null means 2 null values. So that I'm going to get by using the df.isNull.sum. And clearly I can see that insurance column is having 2 missing values. Age is having 1 missing value and loss is having 1 missing value in my data set. Just observe. Insurance is having 2 missing values. Age is having 1 missing value and loss is having 1 missing value. This is the missing values in the given data set. Sir, here they have written NAN. NAN means not available. If you open that particular data set, inside the data set, this is the sample data where I have taken only the sample. So in this sample, I'm having with respect to these are the missing values. Whenever the missing values you have loaded, automatically that value will be shown as NAN. Actually, here the values are not there. In the cell, it is empty. Whenever there is an empty cell, whenever you have loaded on the pandas, these empty cells will be represented by NAN. Right? And you are going to check by missing values, and seatbelt is having, insurance is having 2 missing values, age is having 1 missing value, and loss is having 1 missing value. Now you have to replace these missing values. Sir, if the missing values are there, what happens? The same missing values, if you give to the machine will not understand the data. For example, I'm sharing a book for you. In that book, page number 1 is there, page number 2 is there, page number 3 is there, and directly page number 5 is there. Page number 4 is not there. Can you learn? From the notes, can you learn? Similarly, machine also cannot learn. So if there is a missing values, machine can't learn properly. First, machine will say that there is a missing values in the data. First, I will not learn this data. It will throw directly an error. It will not even learn the data. So first we have to replace the missing values, or we have to do something. Either the option is to remove. Remove means you can drop the rows wherever the missing values are there. Drop the rows. These 4 rows you drop. Drop the missing values. This is option number 1. Okay. So dealing the missing values, out of which the option number 1 is remove the rows that contains the missing values is the option number 1. How you can remove means df.drop NA. Drop NA means wherever the missing values are there, that particular records will be dropped. Records means that rows will be dropped. So after dropping, now you are having finally only 6 records. 4 different records has been dropped. Now you are having only 6 records which are not having missing values. This is option number 1. When we are going to apply this option, removing the data is very easy. Remove the data is very simple. Drop only. The same thing if you want to collect that is difficult. So collecting the data is difficult one. Dropping the data is easy one. Everyone can drop. But collecting the data is very difficult one. Now, when you have to drop this missing values means when more amount of data is missing, that particular column you drop. Never you drop the values with respect to like this. So we should not go with this option. Never you go with the drop option, because the reason is minimum you have to work on the 95% of the given data. You are having the right to remove only 5% of the data. You can't remove more than 5% of the data. Means here out of 10 records, you are dropping 4 records, means 40% of the data you are dropping. You are dropping off 40% of the data. So never drop the 40% of the data. That just 5% of the data you can drop. No problem. But don't go more than that. Removing the data is very simple, but collecting or gathering the data is difficult. So this is not the right option. We should not go with the drop. But at the same time, when we'll drop means if the column, for example, out of 10 values, only 1 value is filled and 9 values are missing. Based on this value, you are not going to fill all the values now. If more data is missing, means drop that particular column. If the data is not there, you are dropping. Dropping the column which is having the more number of missing values. More number of missing values means 70% or 60%, more than 50% of the missing values are there, then only you drop that particular column. Till that, don't drop. Next, option number 2, replace the missing values. Whatever the missing values you are having, replace that one. So in my case, I am having the missing values in the one called as insurance. Second one is, what are the three columns? One is insurance. Second column is age column, and third one is loss. First, you have to observe whether insurance column is a discrete variable or a continuous variable. First, you have to observe that one. Now here that it is a discrete variable because it is having either 1 or 0. Only two categories are there. One means the person is having insurance. 0 means that person is not having no insurance. So this is a discrete variable. So for discrete, this is a discrete variable. Write that word called as discrete. Next, come to the age. In the age column, now if you observe this age column, this is a continuous variable. Write the word called as continuous. Next, come to the loss. Loss is also a continuous variable. Now you are having with respect to each column whether it is a discrete or continuous, that you have separated. Now for continuous variable age column, how you have to replace? If you want to go with replacement, means write in your notes replacement. You are going to do the replace with mean or median. You are going to replace with mean or median for continuous data. For continuous data, you are going to replace with mean or median value. With mode, you are going to replace with mode for discrete data. Now, within this, sir, when we have to apply this one, when we have to apply this one. For continuous data, mean or median, you told. Okay. When we have to go with mean means when there is no outliers. When there is no outliers for that particular column, replace with mean. When that particular column is having outliers, if outliers are available, the mean is heavily impacted. That I have already explained in the statistics. With outlier, without outlier, I have calculated everything. Do you remember? In the descriptive statistics we have discussed. And outliers affects the mean. So it is less affected the median. So we are going to replace with median. So whenever the column is having the outliers, that column has to be replaced with median. If there are no outliers are there, then replace with mean. And for discrete variable, go with the mode. And third, final option, directly if you know the value, whatever the value you know, directly fill in your value on it. If you know that value means directly fill. For example, data entry team says that, sir, that value, some kind of data entry mistake. So we have not filled that value. That value we are going to fill. For example, the student's data is there. Okay. The Naresh IT team has shared me that name, whatever your mail ID and phone number is there along with the fees. So this is the thing which we are having. Now the admin has shared me the same details to me. In that one of the person name is there, but phone number is not there. This value is missing. Now instead of filling the value, I'll ask the admin, sir, this particular student phone number is not there in my data. Can you share the phone number? He'll share the phone number. With that value, I'll replace. Contact the data engineer team and fill the value. First, you have to contact the data engineer team stating that, sir, these values are missing. Are you having the data with you? If they says, no, I'm not having the data miss, then replace with respect to this one. If they are having some value miss, replace with that value only directly. Right? So here, what I'm going to do is replace with mean, median, mode, or fill with some value. Now, for continuous variables, we have to replace with either mean or median. For discrete variables, we have to replace with mode. How we are going to replace means, see here, I'm going to select the age column. Age is a continuous variable. First, you have to check whether it is having outliers or not. How to check that outliers are there or not? By using the box plot that already completed in the EDA. You already observed that one. Now you know whether the age column is having outliers or not, already you know. Now based on that, now you are going to fill that value. So what you are going to do is here, DF of age column, you are going to select the age column, and this age column you are going to fill the missing values. Fill NM is fill the missing values with what you want to replace, whatever the value, that is mean value. First you are going to calculate the mean separately, and this value you are filling. You have to write the value here, and in place is equal to miss, in the original data it is going to replace. So see here, I'm calculating separately. First, I'll calculate the DF of age separately. I'm calculating this one separately. Okay. What is the value, miss? Age column. Okay. Age is nothing but CLM age. So you have to use the same word. Keyword, you have to use the same. Okay. Mean. Now I have got 30.22. So I'm going to fill with 30.22. The same value, 30.22, I'm filling. In place is equal to true, miss. In the original data, directly it is going to replace. So now here I'm going to do that one. So see here, age column was filled with the missing value. This value is earlier missing now. This value has been filled with 30.22. Either you can write the value like this, or directly you can copy this same thing and you can paste here this one on. It will first calculate this one and directly it will replace. Both are same. If you calculate separately, also the same. Here you are calculating and you are writing here. Instead of doing this one, this 30.22 is nothing but this one only. Na? Copy this one. Why separately in separate line? Just directly write here. And in place is equal to true, miss. In the original data, it will do that. If you don't write in this one, if you don't write this in place is equal to true, miss, what happens? It will show, it will display only, but in the original data, missing value will be still, the missing value will be available. Right? In place is equal to true, miss. In the original data, it is going to replace. Directly, it is going to replace in the original data. Is that clear? Next, df.loss. df.loss.median. Means first I am going to calculate the median. Sir, why you are going with median? Because for this loss, there is a outlier. This is an outlier. Since outlier is available, this already I have observed in the EDA. Already I have observed in the EDA, and in the EDA I have told you that you have to write for each column which is the missing values are there, which column is having outliers. You have to take a note. I have already told you that one, right? Now already in the notes you are having that this particular column is having the outliers. Since this particular column is having the outliers, you are going to replace with median. Fill the value with the median value. Now this value, whatever the value is there, this value will be filled with the median of 0.874. This is the median value. Next, insurance. Insurance is a discrete variable. Since it is a discrete variable, you are going to fill with the mode. And the mode, you are going to write the df of insurance dot mode and brackets of 0. Sir, why 0, sir? Why? The reason? Because, for example, I am copying this one separately. Assume this one. Whatever the doubt you are having, copy that one separately and check. Now here, the mode, whatever the mode is there. Again, insurance. What is the column name? Insurance. CLM. Okay. Okay, CLM dot mode. So if you observe this one, mode is 1. For a data, can you have only one mode or multi-mode? For example, in this particular column, okay, this particular data, it is having total 10 records. Out of 10 records, 2 records are missing. 2 of them are missing. Still 8 records are there. Out of 8 records, 4 of them are zeros and 4 of them are ones. Now this is a bimodal distribution, means 2 modes are there. Whenever there are 2 modes, automatically you are going to get with respect to index of 1.0 with 0 and with index 1, 0.0. Whatever the modes are there, every mode you are going to get their index number. For example, the mode, for example, I have taken, let us take like this, 14, 14, 14, 16, 18, 19, 19, 19. For this data, what is the mode? 14 and 19. Now, how it is going to display for this? First, index number 0 with 14, index number 1 with 19. Now, you want to have only the 14, means how you can extract that value, single value? By using the index number of 0. So, 1 you have to collect, means you have to use. Now, if you write this bracket, after this, if you add the bracket, the square bracket, index number, using the index number, you are extracting the data 1.0. That 1.0 you are filling here. You are replacing with 1. The missing value, whatever the incidence you are having, these 2 values, you are replacing with 1. So, it is getting replaced with 1. The 2 values are replaced with 1. Is that clear? So, why I have selected the 0? Because to extract the value. to extract the value. So either you can write with 1 or you can copy the same thing and you can paste here itself. In this way, miss, finally you are going to fill the values by using the function called as df.fillNA. df.fillNA. That particular column you are going to fill by fillNA. Right? Is that clear? Any questions? Next, we are going to use next one called as missing values. The same missing values, you can either use the df.fillNA, that particular column, and .fillNA. This is option number 1. And second option we are having is with respect to simple imputer, is the function is available. This is option number 2. And you can select as per your choice. If you feel fillNA is easy, miss, go with fillNA. If you feel simple imputer is easy, miss, go with simple imputer. But the answer will remain same. So once again, I'm going to load the data. Once again, the same data I'm going to load. Okay, once again, I'm going to load the same data. And I'm going to use from sklearn.impute, import the simple imputer. I'm going to import the simple imputer. And simple imputer where the strategy is equal to mean. Okay, from sklearn.impute. sklearn is the library name. Within this module, I'm importing this function. Okay, so now I'm going to import this particular function. So you already know that import. How to import modules I have explained and how to know import. Now this function you are importing, and in this function you are going to write the strategy is equal to mean. Mean means you have to apply the mean value, and I'm going to save it as a mean imputer. That function I'm going to save it as a mean imputer, and mean imputer dot fit and transform. Fit underscore transform. This is most important. Fit and transform means fit means calculate. The meaning of fit means calculate. The meaning of transform is replace. Fit and transform. What you have to fit and transform? First, you have to take the df of age column. Select the age column. What is the age column? This is the age column. First, select the age column. Within this age column, you apply the mean imputer. Mean imputer means you have to calculate the mean value. So it is just calculating the mean value. For this, apart from the missing value, for remaining 9 values, it is calculating the mean divided by 9. Sum of the values divided by 9. And it is going to calculate the mean value, and this mean value will be filled here. Fit and transform is calculate and fill the value. And you are going to do this one. After doing this one, you are going to get with respect to like this. So the value will be filled. The same 30.22. Above also we have done the same. Either you can go with the fillNA dot mean, apply the mean, and you are going to fill the 30.22. Here also you are doing the same. If you apply like this also, if you apply like that also, both will be the same. There is no difference. Sir, than this, the fillNA is very simple. No, sir. Okay, go with that one only. If you feel that one is easy, miss, go with that. Choice is yours. So just you are going to import this simple imputer, and you are going to apply the fit underscore transform. Fit underscore transform means you are going to fit. Fit means calculate. What you are going to calculate? Mean you are going to calculate. For on what data? Age column. This age column you are going to calculate the mean value, and you are going to replace. After replacement, everything is done. Again, you are going to store into the original data only. In the original data, you are going to store. Right? Next, similarly, strategy is equal to mean. Again, it is going to calculate for the loss variable. It is going to calculate the median value. It is calculating the median value. It is fitting the fit means what is the meaning of fit? Calculate. Calculate the median value and replace the median value. Wherever the missing values are there, replace the missing values with median. For which column? Loss column. And where you have, after replacement, where you have to store that one? In the df of loss only. In the original variable only, you are going to store that one. And like this. Sir, no, sir, I don't want to store in the original variable. For example, this one is there. I'm going to calculate first this insurance column. I'm going to calculate the mode. Mode is most frequent value. Strategy is equal to most frequent. And you are going to keep the mode imputer. Mode imputer dot fit and transform. For this data set, for this particular column, it is calculating the mode imputer. Mode imputer means mode. It is calculating the mode value and it is going to transform. After transforming, you don't want to save into the original one. You want to create a new variable. Like this, you can create a new variable also. If you don't write the same column name, it is going to create a new variable. If you write the same column name, it is going to replace in the same column name. See, for earlier I am not writing this one. See, it is after doing the replacement, it is going to create a new column called as insure. Can you see? This is a new column, and these two values are replaced with one. It is creating a new column. No, sir, I don't want to create the new column. You want to replace in the old column because pandas is also a mutable object. In the mutable object, you can replace directly. So you are going to replace miss. Now it is going to replace in the original one. Can you see the original one which has been replaced? Sir, again, this old column also is visible now miss because you have already executed now. You have executed miss, automatically it will be added, right? Sir, list dot append list is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4 and list dot append and 5 miss, automatically list will be appended with 5. Once you have executed miss, it will be done. No, sir, I don't want to execute. I will delete miss. If you delete also, once you executed miss, already the variable was created now. Once you executed miss, variable will be created. So like that, value has been created. Right? Now what you have to do, this one not required miss, you have to drop. df dot drop, you have to use df dot drop. And inside that, you are going to write whatever the column name is there, that is insure column. And axis is equal to 1 and in place is equal to true. And ask with respect to the df. So now that particular column will be removed. Is that clear, guys? So finally, any value, if you want to replace, for example, what are the options for missing values treatment? What are the various value, how we are going to replace the missing values? What are the options miss? 1, to remove, 2, to replace. In the replacement, we are either going to replace with mean value or median value or mode value. Mean and median will be replaced for continuous data and mode will be replaced with for discrete data. Is that clear? For remove, you are going to use drop NA is the function. For replacement, you are going to use df.fill_NA is the function. If you are going with pandas. If you are going with the sklearn miss, you are having with respect to sklearn.simple_imputer. From sklearn.impute, you are going to import the simple imputer. Simple imputer is the function. Choice is yours. Either you can use fill_NA or this one. This is the code. In the interview, they are going to ask in the original data set, are you having missing values? Yes. And how we are going to treat the missing values? Sir, we are going to treat the missing values. We are going to replace the values with either mean or median for continuous variable. And for mode, we are going, for discrete variables, we are going to replace with mode. You have to say like this in the interview. Right? Now, just if you are, for example, your data engineering team has told you that this is the value miss, directly you can fill that value. Then you don't need to apply the simple imputer concept. In the simple imputer also, you are having that fill_NA with respect to value. If you want to fill the single value also, you can do in the simple imputer. So like this, you are going to impute. So impute means replacing. Technical word of replacement is called as impute. Impute means replace. Filling. Impute means fill. Fill the values. Okay. Fill the values. Impute means fill the values. Is that clear? So either you can select with respect to one is fill_NA or simple imputer. Choice is yours. Now, after this, now next we are having is with respect to outliers. Once the data cleaning was done with the missing values, next we are going to do the outliers treatment. Now, what is an outlier? Outlier which is a somewhat far away from the other observations, which is completely far away from other observations, which is significantly different from other data is called as outliers. Now, a data point which is outside from overall distribution of the data set is considered as an outlier. If there are outliers in your data set, what happens is it causes the various problem, that statistical analysis will be entirely affected. It is going to impact the mean, standard deviation, variance, everything. All the statistical analysis will be affected, and based on the statistics only, the machine learning algorithms are designed. So machine learning also will be deviated completely, right? In addition, some of the machine learning algorithms are very sensitive to outliers. If their outliers are there, automatically there will be a drastic change in their performance. With outliers and without outliers, there will be a drastic change. So much of change will be there in the machine learning accuracy. Okay, so that is the reason we have to treat the outliers. First, what is the reasons for outliers? How we will get the outliers? What is the reason? Means the reason will be data entry mistake. There will be some kind of data entry mistake. Instead of entering salary of 1 lakh, they may enter 10,000. Data entry mistake might be, or sometimes measurement errors. In terms of taking the value in terms of meters, they'll take in terms of kilometers. Okay, for that particular data only, for that particular record only. For other records, they'll take in terms of kilometers. Only for particular one record, they'll take in the meters. And sometimes instrumentation errors. Sometimes the sensors, whatever the sensors are there, they may not give properly result. There might be with respect to some instrumentation errors, right? For example, if you are taking some kind of smartwatch, in that it is going to count the steps. It may count exactly. Sometimes it may not count exactly. It might not be that much of accurate, right? 100% accurate, right? So that at the time, the instrumentation errors. These are the various reasons for outliers. And within the outliers, we are having two different types of outliers. One is called as univariate outliers, which is identified using the box plot. Second one is called as bivariate outliers, which will be identified by scatter plot. In the scatter plot, all the variables, all the values will be like this. One of the value will be here. Like this also, we can identify the outliers. Outliers can be identified by using the box plot and by using the scatter plot also. When you are analyzing the two variables, then only you are able to identify that outlier miss. When you combine the two variables only, you are able to identify the outlier miss. It is called as bivariate outlier. If you are working on the single variable and directly you are identifying the outliers miss, it is called as univariate outliers. Right? So we are having with respect to univariate and bivariate outliers. Now, okay, sir, outliers are rare. Okay. Now, how we are going to work on the outliers? First, once again, I'm going to load the data set, the same data set, whatever we have discussed till now, the same data set. Once again, instead of considering a different data set, I'm going to take the same data set, same data once again. And here, if you check the missing values, this is the missing values and everything. How to identify an outlier? For a particular column, whether there is an outlier is there or not, how to check miss? By using the box plot. You are going to check by using the box plot. But in the box plot, you are going to see one dot like this miss. It is having an outlier. You can't identify the value, but you can say that whether outliers are there or not. So from this, we can say that outliers are available. Now, how to get this value? How to get this value miss? First, you have to calculate the Q1, Q3 and IQR, that is Q3 minus Q1. Any value less than Q1 minus 1.5 into IQR, any value greater than Q3 plus 1.5 into IQR is considered as an outlier. So first you are going to calculate the lower limit and upper limit values. That is Q1 minus 1.5 into IQR, Q3 plus 1.5 into IQR. Once you have calculated, now you are having the values with you like this. Any value less than to this an outlier, any value greater than to this an outlier. So just you are going to apply the condition. In Pandas, I already have told you this one. Just by applying the condition, you are going to extract the data. Do you remember? In Pandas data extraction part. Right? In the data extraction, I have told you how to extract the data by writing the conditions, by writing the ilog and by writing the log. By combination of both of them. So just by writing the condition, you are writing the condition wherever the value is greater than upper limit, you are extracting the data. So I have got, this is the data point, which is satisfying the condition. So any value greater than 8.35, this is the record. That record I have identified. Any value less than the lower limit, I am identifying, means no value. None of the values having less than that. Only one record is there, which is having the greater than 8.35. Like this, we are going to extract that outliers data. This is an outlier data. Right? Now, So now first, before treating the outliers, first we have to fill the values. First we have to do the data cleaning. After that, in the data cleaning, first you have to do the missing values. Then you have to move on to the outliers. So first I am going to replace the missing value. After that, now if you see the box plot, you are having this one. Okay, outliers are there and outlier record also, one record is there. That is very clear. For example, here you are having dots like this. Multiple dots are there, that to combine. How many values are there? You can't identify, right? How many number of values are there? You can't identify. Then how you can get that one miss? By writing the condition like this, you can extract the data. Now you can see total how many data points are there. Sir, okay, sir, you are having the data. For example, let us assume 10 lakh records are there, sir. That is 1 million records are there. Okay, 10 lakhs. 10 lakh records are there. Out of which almost 10,000 records are outliers are there. Out of this, 10,000 outliers are there. Now you are writing the condition. After writing the condition, it is displaying all the 10,000 records, but it will not display all the 10,000 records, right? First 5 records, dot, again 5 records. It is going to display in this way only. It will not display all the records. Then how I can see the total number of count is just by seeing the index number. The last 5 records also will be printed, right? In the last record, 9,999 is there, means what is the meaning of that? Total 10,000 records are there. Like this, we can easily identify total 10,000 records are there as the outliers. So here index number 0 is there, miss. What is the meaning of that? Only 1 record. If index number ends with 1, miss, 2 records automatically. So the last record index number, based on that, we can say total number of outliers. How many outliers are there? Which are having with respect to this upper limit along with the lower limit. And if you want to concat also, you can do the pd.concat, both of them. Outliers concatenation you can do, and everything you can get into the single data. Now, okay, sir, outliers are there and we have identified one outlier is there and that too. Now, how we are going to treat this one? Identification is different. Now we are going to treat. Whether outliers are available or not, you have checked. Now, how we are going to treat that outlier? After checking, now what you are going to do? Next step. For dealing the outliers, we are having 3R technique. 3 R's. For dealing the missing values, we are having 2R. That is either remove or replace. These are the 2 options for missing values. For outliers, we are having the 3 R's. That is, one is remove, the same way. Whatever we have done earlier, the same. Second one is replace. The third one is retrain, means keep as it is and do. That is important data, miss. You should not remove or you should not replace. Right? Now, here we are going to do this one. Replace. First remove. How we are going to remove? The DF of writing the condition, end condition. By writing the end condition, whichever the values are greater than the lower limit and less than the upper limit, between them only I want the data. So these are the 9 records which are satisfying the condition. Now outlier was removed. Which is not satisfying the condition. Whichever the value is greater than upper limit, this value, this outlier data is there. Now this record I am deleting. In this way you can get. The original data is this one. If you want, you can print the original data also. In the original data, this is an outlier data. Apart from this one you want. So by writing the condition, wherever the condition of, so lower limit, what is the lower limit? Q1 minus 1.5 into IQR. This is the lower limit. Less than lower limit is an outlier. Opposite to that is greater than this. Now, similarly, Q3 minus 1.5 into outlier, 1.5 into IQR, any value greater than this is an outlier. Less than this is not an outlier, right? So I'm writing the same condition. Greater than this one and less than this one, whichever the value is there, that values I'm considering. And finally, I have got the output like this. So in this, I have removed the outliers. Outlier data was removed. The option number 1 is remove the outliers. Is that clear? How to remove the outliers? Now, now outliers you have removed. Now again you have applied the box plot. Now let us see the box plot. Now again you are having the outliers. 2 outliers are there now. The same column you have removed. Again you are applying for the new data for this one. Same loss, same column. Once again you are saying the same column. Again, you have got the two outliers this time. Can anyone tell me what is the reason? Yes, exactly. It is going to recalculate once again Q1, Q2, Q3 values. All the values will be replaced now. Earlier the Q1, Q2, Q3 is different. Now according to that, now new values according to that it will recalculate once again. It is going to recalculate once again. Again you will delete miss, again it will recalculate. Again if you delete miss, again it will recalculate. That is the reason we should not go with this option. Once again, you should not remove the outliers. In the interview, they'll ask why you are not removing the outliers. Reason they'll ask. If I can directly say that, don't remove, directly replace. I can say directly, but reason should be there, na? Why? Why you are not removing the outliers? Miss, the reason is after removing the outliers, again it will be recalculated. Once again, outliers will be calculated. This is one problem. Second problem is data will be removed. Collecting the data is difficult. So we can still see some outliers. When we remove the data points from our data set, all the parameters of the distribution are recalculated. Once again, Q1 will be calculated, minimum value, maximum value. According to that, it will be recalculating. Mean value will change. Q1, Q2, Q3 will change. Interquartile range will change. And automatically, the outliers also will change. Right? So here also we have to do with respect to called as replacement. How we are going to replace miss? For example, whatever the values you have calculated here, that is for the original data, you have calculated the lower limit and upper limit. Na? Wherever the outlier is there, this outlier, you are going to replace with the maximum value. This one, with this value. Wherever the minimum value is there, that minimum value you are going to replace. Miss, any value greater than Q3 plus 1.5 into IQR is there, right? Any value greater than this, you are going to replace with this value directly. All the values, that's right side outliers, you are going to replace with this one. Left side outliers, you are going to replace with this one. So the last point will be like this. So outliers will not be there. So I'm just replacing. For replacing like that, what is the option miss? From future engineering dot outliers. From future engine is the one more library is available. This library you have to install. How you have to install miss? Pip install the library name. Whatever the library you want to install in Python, it is very simple. You have to write pip install and write the library name. Automatically it will be installed. Not only this one, any library. Any library, just you have to write pip install library name. Whatever the library name is there, that you have to write. This is the library name and this is the module. And this is the function. Right? So from this particular library, you are going to import this particular function, and this one you are going to give the capping of 1.IQR, fold of 1.5. Fold of 1.5 means 1.5 into IQR it has to select. If you write 2 means it will select 2 into IQR. Q3 plus 2 into IQR. If you write 3 means Q3 plus 3 into IQR. If you write 4 means Q3 plus 4 into IQR. You can't write as per your choice. You have to write 1.5 only because this is statistically proved. You can't write 1.5, 1, 2, 2.2, 2.3, 2.5. You can't write as per your choice. If you are writing as per your choice, means that is your own thing. If you are writing 1.5, means it is statistics. So you are going to calculate now 1.5 into IQR will be calculated and it is going to replace fit and transform. Fit and transform means it is going to calculate and it is going to replace. Now, wherever the outliers are there, it is going to replace. See here, the loss function will be recalculated with the maximum value. So this value, Q3 plus 1.5 into IQR is this value and it is getting replaced. Sir, you may ask me the question, sir, earlier this, whatever the value you are having here, upper limit is 8.35. Now suddenly how you have got 6.68? Again, I have reloaded, right? So let me reload the data once again. If you are doubt in that, just again, I'm going to reload the data, DF. If you see that DF, so again, I'm going to read freshly. Once again, I'm going to read this one. Whatever the data set I'm having, once again, I'm reading. Copy. Okay. Again, first you have to fill this value. First fill that value. After missing values treatment only, you have to move on to this one. So I'm filling the value. How to fill that value is median. You are going to fill with median. This value, whatever you have calculated before the filling, 8.35 is before the filling. So after filling, the upper and lower limits are with respect to 6.68. Is that clear? So now automatically it is going to fill the upper values with 6.68 and lower value minus 3.47. But no need of lower values, nothing lower side. So upper, whatever the data is there, it is getting replaced. Now if you apply the box plot, see, just a minute. Again, you have to fill now. 1 minute. First, you are going to load the data, and after loading the data, you have to fill the value. And DF. Now the values was filled, the missing values, and outlier is available. This outlier. Now what you are going to do is you are going to replace. Now it is replaced with 6.68. Now if you check the box plot, there will be no outliers. Right? You have replaced the outliers. One way is remove the outliers, but which is not to be done. Second way is replacement. How you have to replace the outliers means by statistically. What are the maximum value is that maximum value you have to replace. For that, what is the function you are going to use is winsorization is the technique name. How we are having the simple imputer, similarly we are having the winsorizer. Winsorizer is the function where we are going to use IQR and tail is equal to both and fold is equal to 1.5. Sir, why all these things are directly you can use df dot replace is the second option. One more option you are having is df dot replace. There is one more function. This is using pandas. Earlier, we used to work everything using the pandas only. That is 3 years or 4 years back, everything we used to work only on the pandas. The replacement, missing values, whatever the things we want to do, the data pre-processing entirely we used to done on the pandas only. But latest with respect to the sklearn library. Earlier, sklearn used to have only the machine learning algorithms and data cleaning and data pre-processing, whatever we are having is we used to work on the pandas separately. Pandas library is used for data pre-processing and for machine learning, we used to work on the sklearn. But in the later stage, what they have done is data pre-processing and machine learning, both of them was come with respect to sklearn. They have brought everything to the sklearn. This is the latest version. So you can work on this one or this one. Choice is yours. Whichever you feel easy, that one. Okay. Is that clear, guys? So I'm replacing the values in this way. So by using the winsorization technique and within the winsorizer, I'm going to select the IQR and the both sides I'm going to calculate by applying the fold of 1.5. Now, whatever it is going to do is it is calculating first IQR value. For that 1.5 into IQR will be taken. Both sides means Q3 plus will be added. Similarly, Q1 minus 1.5 into IQR will be considered. Both the sides means this is the meaning. Right side, if you write here, instead of both, right means only this value will be calculated. Left means only this value will be calculated. Both means both the sides will be calculated. And 1.5 into IQR. It is going to apply the IQR. And for which data set it has to calculate? For which column? Last column it has to calculate. And for this column, it is going to calculate the concept of this one and it is going to replace. After replacement, finally you are going to store again the variable into the same column. Is that clear? Step by step it is clear. And third option is with respect to, so here, no sir, I know already the value. For example, you are working on a mileage of a cars. Okay, you are working on a mileage of a cars where you are having 12, 14.4, 16.8, something you are having. And one of the car is having 56. 56 is not possible. Car mileage with diesel or petrol version, 56 is not possible. You want to replace. Now, you want to replace that value. You are asking the data engineer team, sir, here I got the 56. Is really that 56 is the data that particular car is available or not? Before asking the data engineer team, you are going to check in the Google. First, you will check in the Google, is there any car with diesel or petrol variant with 56 kilometers? You will get the answer as no. Now, the same thing you are going to ask to the data engineering team that have got 56. What is this 56? And they will say that there may be some error, data entry error. Maybe this car is 5.6, instead of 5.6, they have entered 56. Maybe it is a Benz car or Audi car where it is having only 5.6. Now, you know this maximum value for a car, you know the value. Directly, you are replacing that whatever the value you want, that value. For that replacement, you are going to use the arbitrary outlier capper. So, arbitrary outlier capper means here you are replacing the values. So, in this case, you are replacing the values. The value will be replaced whatever the value you have given. This is using the statistics. This is using the statistics. This is as per you. This is based on your research or based on as per your requirements, or that particular team has told that, sir, that value will not be there like this. Directly you are going to replace. Right? And finally, you are having with respect to third option is called as retrain. Retrain means consider them separately. When you have to apply this logic means everything will be depend on the data set to data set. Everything we can't fix. If everything fixed code is there means then there is no use of you. Remember this one. There is no use of you. Why? Everyone will say data science course is one of the difficult subject. The reason in that one of the reason is this one also. The reason behind that is for different type of data sets, we have to apply differently. We can't apply the same logic for all the team. For example, here in your class, in this class, many of them are non-IT students are there. Okay, I have to explain in a different way. If you are working, already you are in the Wipro. You are working, every student is working in the Wipro and you already know the Python. And you are a Python developer. Just I have to explain what is the concepts only. Here, the way of my explanation will be entirely different, right? Whether I am going to explain the same way what I am doing in the Amirpet, in the Wipro, I will do the same. No, right? I will not explain like this. The way of explanation will be entirely different. For example, this same thing I am explaining in the Simply Learn. Okay, Simply Learn is one more institute. Where there I am going to explain means in the Simply Learn, they will give me one PPT and they will share me one code. I have to explain that one only. I can't explain my own code. I can't explain my own PPTs. Their code and their PPT is always fixed. In the entire universe, everyone will have the same notes and same code only. Right? So, this is the requirement of the Simply Learns. Whereas in Naresh IT, trainer to trainer, the code will change, the explanation will change, the PPT will change. This is the requirement of Naresh IT. As per the requirements, we have to do. For example, here in the Naresh IT, I am explaining the data science course for 120 hours. That is 4 months course, and I am going to explain in 120 hours in the Naresh IT. The same thing in go with the Simply Learn. There I will explain the same course as it is the course in just 40 hours. If you want to see the difference, miss, I will show the difference, but not now, in the future. Okay. So in the further classes, when I will explain the machine learning algorithm, you will see one of the algorithm how I am explaining. The same thing in the Simply Learn PPT. I am having the Simply Learn PPT, upgrade PPTs, Intelpad PPTs, all the PPTs because I will work there now. I am already having. Just I will show you the comparison purpose. Here the thing is, I am not comparing the institute. Here I want to say you is, as per the institute requirements, you have to solve. If you go to the Simply Learn and if you say that pay for 120 hours, miss, they'll simply say that, SRK, we don't require you. We'll select another trainer who can complete in 40 hours only. As per the requirements, we have to work. Right? So, similarly, in the data set to data set, based on the data set, you have to think of yourself. Right? So, now in the data set, for example, I'm working on the Flipkart data set where October sales are there. October 1st, October 2nd, 3rd, 4th, like this other sales are there. October 31st. This is the date column and the sales column. Sales means on that particular day, how many number of, what is the number of sales is there? Whether it is unit wise or with respect to sales, with respect to turnover wise, value wise. Okay, now I am having like this the data. Total 31 data points I am having. Now using these 31 data points, they asked me to predict on the November 1st. What is the expected sale on the November 1st? But unexpectedly, within this 14, 15, 16 is a big billion day sale. In that, automatically the turnover will be very, very high. So when compared to this remaining 31 days, these three records will be the outliers. But they are actually happened. They are not data entry errors. They are not errors. Actually, they happened. On the special day, it was having with respect to. Now, how we are going to treat them? If you replace, then what is the difference? If you treat them, what is the difference? If you replace means, what is the difference? So what we are going to do is this data we are going to separate. Big billion days data we are going to separate. And offer day, whenever there is an offer, that data we are going to separate. And normal days we are going to separate. Now you are asking the November 1st expected sales. Now this expected sales, if first I will check whether the November 1st is a normal day or a big billion day or if it is a offer day. If it is a normal day, means whatever the normal day data is said, based on this I am going to predict. If this is an offer day, means based on the offer day data I am going to predict. If it is a big billion day sales, I am going to compare with the big billion day sales earlier data, and based on that I will predict. Then I will get more accurate results. How we can take a normal days and you can predict on the big billion days sales how it is going to be there? Means we can't predict properly. We'll get with less accuracy. So we have to separate the data like this. This is called as retrain. This is called as retrain. Retrain means the outliers data, separate them and analyze them separately. Don't combine with the normal data. Separate the data and do the analysis separately. Is called as retrain. These are the three different options which we are having. Is that clear? How to replace the missing values and how to replace the outliers. Clear, guys? So in the original, in the companies or in the real life, we are going to get a data which is uncleaned. 100% we'll get the missing values, 100% we'll get the outliers. So 100% guarantee interview question on this. In the real life, we have to treat the missing values. In real life, we have to treat the outliers. Right? So whenever there is a missing values, first you have to check whether they are there or not. Check. Check is called as EDA. Replacement is called as future engineering. Checking will be done separately. Replacement will be done separately. Right? So you are going to check the missing values and you are going to replace the missing values. Similarly, you are going to check the outliers, whether outliers are available or not. For checking that one, we are going to use the box plot. And after that, we are going to replace by using the winsorization technique. Here, winsorization technique will be used. Most of the times, we'll go with winsorization. Here, we'll go with the simple imputer. Is that clear? Checking will be done differently by using that df.isNull.sum. This is for check. Box plot is for check. Replace, we are going to use simple imputer. Here, replace, we are going to use winsorizer. Clear, guys? How we are going to treat the missing values, how we are going to treat the outliers. So for treating the missing values, mean, median, mode is required. For that, descriptive statistics is required. Before entering to this class, first you have to cover the descriptive statistics. For checking outliers, first you have to cover the descriptive statistics, and box plot, first you have to cover the matplotlib and cburn. So that is the order we have to prepare. Without knowing the box plot word, directly if you come to this class, there will be no use. So first we have to complete the statistics and we have to complete the matplotlib or cburn, and based on that, if you come to this class will be easy. Now you have to learn the what is meant by modules, and within the modules what is functions, and for the functions what is the arguments. These all the things I have explained in the core Python. Earlier I have explained everything from the base level. Now I am applying everything. Here I am not going to re-explain once again. I am just applying. This is a function. Just this is a function. This is one of the function. In the function, this is the keyword arguments. This keyword arguments, I am filling the values. This is a function. And these are the arguments, various arguments. And keyword arguments, I am filling the values with the keyword arguments and it is going to apply. In the functions concept, I have told you keyword arguments. Once you give the keywords, how it is going to perform that function, I have discussed, right? And how to import also I have discussed, right? What are the different options for importing also I have discussed, right? The same concept I am applying. Now, only thing I have told today is only the word is fit underscore transform. This is the only word I have explained for you. Fit and transform is the only word in the entire coding part. Theoretical part, okay. Coding part, I have added only one thing. Remaining everything is which you are already familiar with. Right? Fit and underscore transform is nothing but, fit is nothing but calculate. Transform is replace. Fit underscore transform is first it is going to calculate and it is going to replace. What it is going to calculate? Winsorization it is going to calculate. On which data it will calculate? On this data it will calculate. Whatever the function you have written, this function will be calculated on the given data. And after calculating, it is going to replace that values. It will perform the replacement. Clear, guys? Yeah, you can ask your questions. Offline students, please ask your questions. If there is no questions, that is the end of the session for today. And in tomorrow's class, we are going to discuss the data wrangling techniques. That is encoding, future transformations, all these things we are going to discuss in tomorrow's class. Yeah, offline students, you can ask your questions. If no questions, please, I will go with the online. Yeah, you can use either replace also. Choice is yours. Choice is yours. Either you can go with sklearn or you can directly use the fill in here using pandas. Anywhere, both will be the same. Values will be the same only, right? You are not going to change the value, right? You have extracted here. For the outliers, you have extracted the data. Na? This data you are separating. This data separated, this data is separated. Two data are separated. Outliers data will be separated, non-outliers data will be separated. Separate. Two data frames you separate. This is one DF and this is one DF. Right? Is that clear? Nitish. Just 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes. Sit. Is that clear, guys? Yes. Sir, what are the topics covered in the Matplotlib and Seaborn is sufficient? Yes, it is sufficient for the data scientist. Mohammed, sir, can you explain the box plot? Outliers replacing once again. Replacing of outliers is nothing but first you are going to load the date, this one, the function, and using this function you are going to replace. Guys, please be silent. Just you are going to calculate these values first, that is using the IQR and fold of 1.5. Both means Q3 plus 1.5 into IQR, Q1 minus 1.5 into IQR. These values will be calculated first. After calculating these values, any value less than this, any value less than this will be replaced with this value. Any value greater than this will be replaced with this value. Retrain coding part. So for retrain, what is the coding? Coding is nothing but separating. Na? You are separating the data, right? Outliers data. This is the code. How to get the separate data? Just you are applying the code for this. These are the 2 lines of code for retrain. Means you are separating the data first. Ante df underscore out, df underscore no out. Sarpayindi. Outliers data ni separate cheyandi ante. అలా అన్ని కాలమ్స్ ఉంటే అన్ని కాలమ్స్ మీరు చేయాలి. నేను ఒక కాలం నేను చేశాను, మిగతా కాలమ్స్ మీరు చేయండి. ఫర్ లూప్ అన్ని చేయాలి, అన్నిటికీ సేమ్ ప్రాసెస్, ఒకటి తర్వాత ఒకటి. మనం మీరేమైనా పొద్దున్న డేటా సెట్ ఇస్తే సాయంత్రానికి ఏమైనా సబ్మిట్ చేస్తారా? ప్రాజెక్ట్ కాదు కదా, టైం ఇస్తారు కదా. సో డేటా క్లీనింగ్ కి 15 రోజుల నుంచి 20 రోజులు మనకి ఈడిఐకి, డేటా క్లీనింగ్ కి అండ్ డేటా వ్రాంగ్లింగ్ కి వీఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు స్పెండ్ ఆల్మోస్ట్ 20 days. సో వాళ్ళు మనకి ఎన్ని కాలమ్స్ ఇస్తే అన్ని కాలమ్స్ బాక్స్ లో చూసుకొని మనం ప్లేస్ చూడగానే కనిపిస్తుంది. తక్కువ డేటా ఇవ్వరు కదా, పెద్ద డేటా ఇస్తారు కదా. రైట్, done. Next is there next is that clear, guys? Any questions? Nitish is asking, sir, which is better, upgrade or great learning? To my choice, than both of them, mine is better. Nitish. Next, still any questions? How to validate the inserted values? How to validate means in terms of you are going to validate by checking is there any outliers are there. Just after replacement, again once again apply the box plot. Now the outliers has been rectified. Right? Funny, is your question is clear? After replacement, just again recheck once again the box plot. Again, if you identify the outliers means you have not done the replacement. Yes. Can we expect outliers for categorical variables? How you can calculate for outliers for categorical variables? How you can calculate? What is the Q1 value, Q2 value, Q3 value? How you can calculate IQR? How you can calculate outliers? Assume there is a male, female, like this is there. Can you calculate for any, take any example of your choice. Apples, bananas, pineapples, grapes, all these things, fruits are there. They are categorical column called as fruits. In that various fruit names are there. Can you calculate Q1 value for the fruits? Assume that you have calculated apple as the Q1. Apple minus banana. How you can do that like that? IQR, you have to calculate IQR miss Q3 minus Q1. Can you calculate? Is that possible? Pawan. So outliers will be done only for the continuous variable, not for the discrete variables. Is that clear?